Hi everybody, welcome back. We are going to make a roasted gnocchi with vegetables today. I don't know if any of you have ever had gnocchi before. It's little tiny potato dumplings. They're little pillowy potato pasta and really super easy to make, but we're going to use store-bought ones today. And normally you boil them very quickly, serve them with the sauce, and that's typically how they're eaten. But what we're gonna do is roast them with veggies, and that makes them still nice and soft and pillowy, but they've got a lovely crispy coating on them, kind of like a roasted potato, only softer and squishier and yummier. So what we need is, we need our gnocchi, so that's the President's Choice one, and then we need grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. We need fresh garlic, red onion, pepper, bell pepper, and then we need olive oil and rosemary and fresh basil for finishing. This came out of my garden. Something great thing. Maybe some of you have planted some veggies during this COVID time. Lots of people have gotten into gardening, and it's a really great way to spend some time. It's a really cheap way to grow your own food, which is nice. It costs, pack with seeds and some sun and some water and some attention, and boom, you've got food. So anyway, let's get started with this one. This is another really easy one. Chop your vegetables, toss it all with some olive oil, pop it into the oven. I wanted to show you, we're gonna start with the onion. Now I've showed you before how to peel an onion, cut it. So we're just gonna cut this one into bite-sized pieces. Like, those are slippery. Sometimes you gotta be careful with that. Sometimes the outer skin can be a bit soft and it's slippery, so we'll just slide it off over there. We're gonna put, actually, I need a bowl. I forgot that part. I forgot the bowl. Snap. Hi. Mise en place, remember? I talk about that all the time. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, there's the bowl. We're gonna put the onions in the bowl. We are going to toss the cherry tomatoes in the bowl. We are going to take some garlic. This is fresh garlic. I picked this up at the farmer's market on the weekend. This is my friend Matt. He raises water buffalo, of all things. But he's got a little garden, and his son helps him with it. So this is some of the garlic that they've grown. So we've got that. Move that out of the way. We're gonna chop this up really coarse. And throw that in the bowl. The other thing I wanted to do was show you how to cut a pepper, a bell pepper, so that you don't get any waste and so that you are safe. This is something, these skins can be really quite tough. So you want to be very careful when you're first cutting through them so that you don't slip. So what I'm gonna show you is, first thing you do is cut the top off like that. Pop out the stem. Sometimes it'll break, that's okay. And with it come the seeds. So we do that. See all the seeds on the inside? So we take those out, and look at this, it's got another one growing inside. So we take the bottom off as well, and then we cut it like this, and we cut the ribs out. So just slice the ribs out, it takes all the seeds with it. Cut the rib out this way, carefully so that you don't slice your finger. And then the best way to chop it is cut it from this side. It doesn't, the knife doesn't slip. So you can cut it into chunks like this, bite-sized chunks. And then we're gonna cut it again. You can cut it in two, you can cut it one, you can put two together depending on your comfort level. Sometimes, you can do three. Really, it's up to you. And then you take this piece and you cut it into pieces like this. And take the bottom, cut it into pieces, chunks. So you've got no waste. Look at that, absolutely zero waste on that pepper. You've managed to cut it all into nice big usable pieces. So you can use red peppers, yellow peppers, green peppers. I don't like green peppers very much. I find them quite sharp. Basically, an orange pepper or a yellow pepper or a red pepper is a green pepper that's been allowed to ripen longer on the vine. And the longer it sits in the sun and ripens, the more sugars it gets. So that's why you find those are sweeter. And then we open up our gnocchi. We're going to toss the gnocchi in. And then we're going to take some fresh rosemary. So I don't know how many of you have ever used this before. It's delicious. I love fresh rosemary. We're going to take the stalks, the leaves off because the stems are really woody. But if you're into making your own soup, that's actually maybe something we should do. You take, throw the stalks in to the soup. It's a great way to get some flavor. Sometimes if you ever wanted to do like a shish kebab or something like that, you know, skewered meat, rosemary makes a great skewer because then you get some nice rosemary flavor. So we're going to take the rosemary. We're just going to give it a rough chop. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Oh, it smells amazing. That gets sprinkled in there. Okay. Then we give it a couple of grinds of pepper. I like a lot of pepper. A couple of shakes of salt. Good drizzle of olive oil. Do you still have the olive oil that we got you the last time? Did you ever taste that? Do a comparison and see what you think of it. Notice the the comparison between the two. So then you toss that all up like this. There you go. So it's all nice and coated with oil. It's spread on a baking sheet, covered with parchment, so it doesn't stick. Preferably a bigger baking sheet than what I've used. This is clearly not big enough, but I want to put it into my toaster oven. Scrape out the last of the oil and all that yummy herbs. You could use fresh thyme if you wanted. That would be really nice. Okay. And then it goes into the oven that you've preheated to 450 degrees. Goes over here. 20 minutes. That's it. That's all. While you're about 10 minutes in, give it a stir. Flip it over a little bit. And when it's all finished, comes out of the toaster oven. And this is what it will look like. So I've garnished this with a little bit of fresh basil. I tell you the basil that I picked out of my garden. Some grated Parmesan cheese. And you can see the tomatoes have all squished and they made a little bit of juice. And the pasta's got some lovely crunchy bits to it. The onions have started to caramelize a little bit. So you just dig in and enjoy that. Hopefully you've learned something new. Maybe you'll even be inspired to look up gnocchi and learn how to make it on your own. And if you like, maybe that's something that we could learn how to do, because I've frankly never made it either. So anyway, take care. Good to see you all, and we'll talk again next week. Bye.